The thing that stops 94% of people from hitting $20,000 per month, it's not talent, it's not intelligence, it's not luck. It's because they have no acquisition strategy. Now, ideas are cool, infrastructure is great, but if no one knows you exist and you have no way of converting them, all of your systems mean nothing. Now, most people never build a consistent way to get clients, so they never consistently make money. Instead, it's a constant hustle for them. And it's not because it's hard, it's because nobody really teaches how to actually enter the online world, whether it's UGC, paid traffic, operations, sales, whatever it may be. There are endless paths in. And the issue is not in doing the work. I'm sure there's millions of videos on exactly how to fulfill for each thing. The issue is finding clients. Without clients, you do not have a business. And the thing is, anyone can do it. Meanwhile, the normal job market is collapsing and people with master's degrees are begging for positions that pay less than rent. But online, you're one good system away from breaking free in a matter of months, not years, months. So if you're too lazy to watch this entire video and you want to get started, let me break down exactly what you need in the next 60 seconds. Number one, you need an organic content engine. Posting is not optional. People do not know you exist. They cannot pay you. Short form, long form, carousels, value. This is your brand. Step two, an outreach machine. Once you have cash flow, DMs, follow up, email, LinkedIn. This is the fastest way to get your first 5 to 10 clients. You don't need talent. You need volume and consistency. Step three is paid traffic. Once you have cash flow, ads will let you scale like a real business. Predictable leads, predictable calls, and predictable revenue. Now, four is a referral pipeline. Deliver results, stay consistent, and watch clients literally bring you more clients for free. Referrals are the highest quality, lowest cost acquisition you will ever get. So again, if you're lazy, get to work now. However, if you're smart, watch until the end. This is the entire game. Pick a skill, build one of these systems, and then stack the rest as you grow. Now, my name is Tyler Dusty, and I started my first online business 4 years ago. I dropped out of college. I dove in head first, and I failed more times than most of you have even tried. But through that, I had built systems that actually work. I've built businesses to 400,000 plus per month in revenue and mentored people how to get from 0 to 5, 20K per month with the exact same systems. I've managed millions in ad spend. I've helped scale 7 and 8 figure companies. I even exited one of mine. I've managed creators doing billions of views per year and crossed over 500K personally cash collected in my offers and others. Before you watch, clear your mind. Everything that you think you know, open your head, learn how to build predictable acquisition systems and unlock the income that 94% of people will never reach. Okay, so let's go over why 94% of people are never going to hit 20K months. And at the end of the day, you guys have to understand this is all about information. Information is the name of the game. So now, what this is not. It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's not talent. It doesn't matter, right? This is because you have no client acquisition method. This is why you have not scaled past 20K per month. No one knows who you are, right? And if they don't know who you are, then why would they buy for you? They don't know you exist. That is the issue that we're looking to solve right now, right? Now, here are a few keynotes before we start. Ideas and infrastructure don't matter if no one knows you exist. You can have all the fancy tools, all the fancy CRMs, all the fancy software, all the fancy backends. You can have the best fulfillment in the world, but if nobody knows you, how are you going to have any money? How are you going to get any clients? You can have the craziest business model and plan and fulfillment, but you don't have a business if you do not have clients, right? I want you to get that through your head. Now, fulfillment isn't the problem like we just described. Acquisition is. Now, the online world, when it comes to actual services, is endless. UGC, ads, ops, sales, AI, editing. Everyone needs marketing, right? Everyone needs content. Everyone needs automation. Everyone needs what? All of these things will never go away. They'll adapt and change as AI starts to take over more of the online space, but none of it will actually go away. So I don't want you guys to be afraid of AI. Embrace it, right? Now, nobody's going to teach you how to actually get clients. You're going to see YouTube videos everywhere, maybe different funnel strategies, etc. That's the most you're going to get, right? But when it comes to actual client acquisition strategies, there's not much actual content out there that people are actually using, right? So I want you guys to really understand this. There's multiple ways to do this, and there's a specific plan that you need to have in place. And I'm going to go over all of that throughout the course of this video, right? Now, the traditional job market is collapsing, right? The online world is exploding. So if you guys want a community of like-minded people, you want a community that throws more resources at this, the link is in the description. So if you want to join that community, absolutely go ahead. You can get help from all the people that are inside. Everyone helps each other. Everyone's going to help you grow. So if you want that, awesome, link in the description. Back to the video. You are one good system away from 20 to 30K per month. I want you to understand that, because this is something where there's a learning curve. And once you get over that learning curve, it is endless. It is endless, no matter what you want to do. So the point of this video, all of my YouTube videos, are helping you get past that learning curve. Now, the gap is not ability. Again, it's client flow. So let's actually go over how we are going to do this. And there's 4 client acquisition methods that I want to go over today. They all work together. You're going to need all of them, but how you blend them together is super, super, super important. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to go over organic content. We're going to go over outreach. We're going to go over paid traffic, and we're going to go over referral pipeline. These are the 4 client acquisition methods that are the most important, right? Now, after that, we're going to go over integration. What are the steps and flows that you should use to integrate each one into your business? Which one's first, which one's last, etc. Let's go over organic content. So when it comes to organic content, right, there's 3 that I like to use. There's YouTube, there's TikTok, and there's Meta. Meta being Facebook and Instagram. There are other platforms, right? Rumble, Snapchat, etc. I'm just going to go over these 3 today, because if you're just starting, you don't want to go into more complex algorithms. I'm not saying they're complex in the way that they're better. I'm saying complex in the way that they're not used as much, right? It's a lot easier to go viral on TikTok. It's a lot easier to go viral on Instagram than it would be to go viral on Rumble or Snapchat. And honestly, the type of lead quality on Rumble and Snapchat is just not the same that you would get. When it comes to YouTube, TikTok, and Meta, it's a very specific play for each one. Now, this is non-negotiable. When it comes to organic content, you need a brand for sustainable growth or consistent growth. This is going to feed every one of your systems, right? So when it comes to YouTube, we're going to focus on long form. We can do short form. You can do YouTube shorts, but that's not the focus. You want long form, high value content, 25, 30 minutes, whatever it may be, on YouTube specifically. Now, when it comes to TikTok and Meta, this is where you're going to have your short form. Now, TikTok and Meta are great in the sense of you can post something on TikTok, it can usually perform on Instagram, right? Where if you were to post something on Snapchat, whereas if you were to post something on Snapchat or Rumble, there's no way of telling if it would convert. But typically, TikTok and Meta are interchangeable, right? Where you can post one and the other one will work as well. But the main difference is when it comes to Instagram, you want to think of your page as a little more professional. You can have landing pages where you're using that profile to display your type of work, your testimonials, everything like that. I think that should be separate from your personal. I think that you should have at least one business page with what you want to do, leverage that as a landing page, use your personal page to leverage your main point across as your top of funnel. This is where you get your general audience. This is where you want to get the most people flowing through your social media as possible. So you're using TikTok, you're using Instagram as your top of funnel. Now, what I think is interesting and what you should really play into when it comes to TikTok is using it to talk to your audience. This is where you'll start to build a little bit more trust because you're saying your ideas, your thoughts. It's super raw, it's super organic, whatever it may be, right? So I think that's the best play for TikTok. Obviously, it's based on your situation. Now, exposure is great top of funnel. Again, short form is for a mass audience of views. You're going to get a very low conversion rate on your short form, right? People are just watching, but it's exposure. It's brand awareness. That is the key. So don't think that TikTok is useless. Don't think that Instagram is useless or Facebook is useless. It's to get eyeballs, right? Funneling those eyeballs, which is top of funnel, all the way to your YouTube. Your YouTube is where you're going to give so much value that people understand you know what you're talking about. So your short form, your TikTok, your Instagram would be top of funnel. Your YouTube will be middle of funnel. Your conversion will be bottom of the funnel, right? Your conversions, they're booking after YouTube, call with you, etc., your sales team, whatever it may be. The easiest way to build trust and overcome your objections is brand awareness. If people know who you are and they watch your content and they trust you, they will more than likely buy from you, right? Whatever that may be that you're offering, as long as the value is there, right? So if you have the value and you have the brand and you have the knowledge, there's no reason for someone not to buy from you. So it's all about brand awareness and exposure. But again, keep in mind that short form, exposure, long form, conversion. When you separate those, it's going to be a lot easier to create your content in a way that makes sense. And it's also easier to organize all of your content. That's organic, number one. Number two, outreach. follow-ups, nurtures, first hits. This can be anything, right? So there's two types of outreach. There's going to be cold and there's going to be warm, right? So when we're thinking of cold, it's DM, it's email, it's cold calling. It's when someone follows you, you reach out to their page, or you have a setter reach out to their page, or you get an email list that you built up over time, or maybe you got it somewhere else, you collected it some way, and now you're reaching out to try to sell your offer as well. Then you have cold calling, where someone either opted in, you have their phone number somehow, and you're calling that number, right? This is cold calling. Cold obviously means that the lead is not knowing or less knowing of who you are and what you do, and it's going to take a little bit to ramp them up. Whereas warm is self-explanatory, right? Warm is someone who knows about your product, knows about your service, knows who you are, and wants to buy already. So when we're talking about cold, right? DM strategy, email strategy, cold calling strategy. You need this information, right? Without a system in place with outreach, which is mostly workflows, you will struggle. When I say mostly workflows, right? You can have many reach out on DMs. When it comes to email, you can have automations after people opt in. When it comes to cold calling, you can have options where people opt in. Maybe you shoot them an SMS, right? You shoot them a message. Or I don't know how it is in other countries, but I know in America, you cannot AI cold call. But the workaround, obviously, is if someone opts in from your ads or via whatever you do to collect their phone number and they agree on your privacy policy or terms and conditions, and that's on there, then it's completely fine. It's completely okay. So you can automate cold calling, you can automate emails, and you can automate DMs. I do think you should have a setter. Obviously, human interaction is amazing. However, you do have the options to automate everything. So when you outreach, you can handle volume that way, which I do think you should build, right? Now, the end goal of that is obviously conversion. So when it comes to warm leads are usually inbound almost all the time. They're from content, people who watch your content a ton, or maybe they're from referrals, etc. People who know who you are, what you do, and they already know why they should go with you, right? That is very important. Volume of leads is great, but without outreach, you are losing money. So you can have 1 million views, 2 million views, 18 billion views, but if you have no way to reach out to these people and you have no way to control the volume of people that come in, then you are losing money every step of the way. And our goal is to make money. Our goal is not to lose money, believe me, right? Number 3, we're going to go over paid traffic. So I'm going to give you 3 funnels that work extremely well. And these are the typical funnels that you'll see almost everybody use, right? So number 1 is VSL to application to booking, right? So this is when you have your video sales letter, you click, boom, usually it's like an opt-in form, you go to your application, and then after your application, you're able to book. Now, typically it's good to have conditional logic, right? So based on the answers to the application, determine if they can book or if they can't. Now, usually what I'll do is, let's say it's a revenue question, for example, based on the amount of revenue, if they're able to work with you, then they'll go to the next page where they can book. However, if the revenue is too short, then they won't even be able to book. However, there's a caveat, right? On the thank you page, you have a form. If they're not eligible or not qualified to book, you have a form that says, if you think we made a mistake, why? The next funnel is application to booking. So now this is just straight application. There's no VSL, nothing like that. Typically, this will work better with contractors, etc. People who are in the trades, people who don't have time to watch a 10-minute VSL, nor do they want to, right? They just want to fill out a form. They know what they want. They know what they need, and then they'll go to the booking page. Same thing. You can use the conditional logic, right? Now, the next funnel is quick form, right? So a quick form is just a little form that they fill in the ad. It could be through Instagram, etc., where they fill it out. They don't go to a landing page. They actually fill out the ad on the platform, right? Now, typically what this does is it sends information to your CRM, and then you have your setter reach out. So your setter will reach out, your outreach method. You'll get in contact with that person, and then you'll book them the call, and you'll pre-qualify them via phone call from your setter. Now, you must have a good offer for ads to work. That's a big thing. If you look at my previous video, it goes over how to build an offer, right? Because your offer is just going to amplify what's already true, right? So if your offer is great, your ads will crush. If your offer sucks, your ads will flop. Now, this is how you're going to scale beyond belief. And you only start this, mind you, when you have some cash. Organic growth with a great outreach system will help you get there a lot quicker. So the first 2 that I mentioned. Now, the end goal of all these different funnels is conversion, obviously. Now, the 4th client acquisition channel that we're going to review today is the referral pipeline. Now, there's 3 types of referrals that I typically like to think of, right? The first one is affiliate. When it comes to affiliates, it's not necessarily like they're a referral, but I do like to put this in a similar category because someone else is finding you the client, right? Typically, they're fronting the ad spend. Typically, they're fronting the outreach. Maybe it's their email list, etc., and you're just the back end, right? So either they white label your offer or they just send people to you in sort of like a partnership terms, and you typically give them a percentage. It could be 15%, it could be 30%, depending on the value that the affiliate gives you. Now, you need a great fulfillment and client results for this to even work. You can have the world's best offer positioning, but if your offer sucks, it's going to crush the affiliate's name. And at the end of the day, affiliates don't want their names to be crushed. I mean, you have some people out there that are willing to do that just for some quick cash, but at the end of the day, your reputation is everything. And if you cannot crush and your results suck, then most likely no one will push your offer. So don't even think about the affiliate one if your fulfillment sucks. Honestly, if your fulfillment sucks, go back to her. Next is friend and fam commission. So everyone has an instant network. You have friends, you have family, right? You have people that you know who could send you more business, right? Now leverage that current network and offer friends and fam discounts. Say, hey, listen, I'm a marketer. You have a business. Maybe it's a med spa. I'll do $500 a month instead of $2,500 a month, as long as you keep giving me business, right? If you send referrals or they get a percentage of, this could be a percentage of the MRR as long as the client is with you. This could be just an upfront fee. It really depends how your unit economics work. Are you willing to take a loss on the front end because your LTV is high and you'll make money MRR? Or are you willing to lose money long-term because you'll make way more on the front end, right? So it really, really just depends on how your business is set up and how your model works, right? But everyone knows someone. That's the core basis of that, right? Now, next is incentives. So this is just adding a recurring or a big upfront 20, 30%, etc. for someone referring you. Or it could be 10% depending on the ticket. This only works if you have a great product in LTV. Also, like I said, if you're going for MRR, it's okay to take a hit on the front end. It's okay to take a hit on the front end because you're going to make that money regardless. You're going to make it back month over month over month over month. And so it's okay to even break even on the front end if you have strong LTV and you're going to make up for that cash. That is completely okay. At the end of the day, even with your current clients, you can offer them, hey, I'll give you a free month or I'll give you 2 free months of my service if you refer me to someone. Or for everyone that you refer, I give a free month or X percentage, right? So it really just depends on what you're comfortable giving away. But typically for referrals, if you have a strong LTV, I would highly recommend giving a massive, massive, massive referral packet because you're going to grow so much quicker. And people are also going to really appreciate that you're giving them a big cut or a big percentage because it's giving them that incentive to actually go and sell your service for you. Because that's what referrals are, right? Someone else is connecting you. Someone else is talking about your service and selling it and sending that person to you. Now, this is the most important part, hands down, right? Integration. How are we going to integrate these 4 systems into your business, right? How are we going to integrate these systems into your business? Now, you have the referral system. This is something that you need. This isn't a before, this isn't an after. This is something you need to have set up, right? Make sure that you hit your immediate network or incentivize others to do the same. So this is something you need in the beginning. This is something that you need to spread out to everyone as you grow and in the beginning. Step 1 is build an outreach system where you can handle volume. I need you to build all your workflows. I need you to build your no-show nurture. I need you to build your outreach DM automations. If someone's reaching out to you on Instagram, I need you to come up with all of your booking forms, booking links, make sure that you can handle volume, right? Now, what I want you to think of when you're thinking of these workflows is this, right? If someone DMs you, then what? If someone emails you or calls you, then what? How are you going to get back to them? If you receive a lead from wherever you receive that lead, then what? Where do they go? What's their journey? Are they filling out a form? Who's reaching out to them after they fill out that form, etc.? If you have no-shows, then what? Someone doesn't come to your meeting, what happens, right? Who's reaching out to them? What's the workflow behind that? Now, if you have leads that want to start in a few months, what does that look like? Step number 2, building a brand surrounded by trust and surrounded by results. This is your organic content. So step 1, build your outreach system. Step 2, you need to start brand building. This is so important, right? Trust and results are going to equal higher conversion across the board. So if you have a brand, no matter what you do, it could be paid traffic across any channel, Google, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it may be, you will convert higher because people see your face, they know who you are, they know what you do, and they know the results that you have. Now, step 3, once you have your outreach system built, your referral system built, you have your organic system built, you need to run paid traffic. You need to prepare some cash and you need to run ads, right? Now, typically, I wouldn't even suggest this until you have $5,000 to $10,000 per month to spend, because at the end of the day, Instagram or any other platform that you're going to advertise usually acts like a bidding system. So the higher you spend, the more quality leads you'll get and the lower your costs will be. You pay to play. Do not jump into ads if you have $500 a month or $250 a month. There are ways where you can do it for $50 a day. There are ways you can do it for $100 a day, and it can be a little more complex than if you were spending more, but there are ways to do it, right? But make sure, I say, you have $5,000, the lowest end $3,500, where you can really jump into ads head first and spend money. Because in the beginning of your campaign, you're going to be in the learning phase. You're going to throw money at it. You're going to figure out what your KPIs are. You're going to figure out what your conversion rate is, and you're going to throw money in afterwards, right? But there will be a few week period, maybe a month, where you are burning cash, not because your ads and your offers suck, but because you have to keep tweaking your ads to get them to where you want them to be. They're not going to start perfect, right? They're starting. You need to build them up. Build them up until you hit your KPIs, and then you scale, right? Typically, you can set aside a testing budget, whatever it may be, and the actual ad strategy is a whole separate video. But anyways, you need $5,000 to $10,000, at least your mind say, okay, I'm okay if I burn $5,000 this month and don't get a return, right? Or I'm okay to throw in $10K and maybe not get a perfect ROAS, right? So this is something that you need to keep in mind, because it's not going to start perfect, and it is really, really, really hard, right? Now, outreach and automations. Now, if your outreach and automations are dialed, you're scaling to the moon. I promise you. If you're getting all this traffic coming in via ads and you have a way to outreach them that's effective, that's why we already want you to have it built, then you will scale to the moon, right? And you need to be able to handle volume and make sure that you squeeze money out of your lead list. Again, outreach is the most important. If you do not have a way to take in this volume of leads and sell them something or be able to get them on a call, then you are losing money. There's no point of running ads if you cannot handle the volume. So I want you to keep this in the back of your mind. We went over the 4 main client acquisition strategies. We went over how to integrate that into your business. I'm happy to answer any of your questions and make videos on things that you guys are confused about. So please comment down below what you guys think of the video, what you guys want to see in future videos. And if you guys want to join my community, link in the description. And if you also want to work with me directly, there's a link in the description as well. So book a call. I'd love to help you guys out as much as I possibly can. I have been through this. I've seen a lot of things that most people don't. So I'd love to help you out in any way that I can. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.